everyone, and welcome to our Modern Requirements webinar. Today, we are pleased to bring you the second release of the year for Modern Requirements for DevOps, Update 1, and we're absolutely thrilled to have you join us today as we unveil the latest enhancements to the tool. At Modern Requirements, our mission has always been to empower your teams with the most efficient, integrated, and user-friendly tools within your Azure DevOps environment. Today, we're excited to showcase how our newest release takes that mission even further. So get comfortable and let's explore the latest release together. Before we begin, I have a few housekeeping items I'll quickly go over. We will be sending the recording of this webinar to your inbox by the end of the week, so look out for it, probably by tomorrow. It'll also be available on our website in the next couple of days. We've also set aside time at the end of the session for Q&A. So please use the Q&A window at any time throughout the session. Let's avoid putting questions in the chat because we can miss that, so we can stick to the Q&A window. We will address your questions as best as we can. And if we run out of time and we can get to your question, we will have some we can address your additional questions after the event, or you can also send us an email at info@modernrequirements.com. There will also be a survey that will pop up at the end of the webinar. Just please take a few moments and provide your feedback to us. We will appreciate it. I will now pass you on to my colleague Dane, who will take us through the rest of the agenda for today.
Thank you, Darshani, for kicking us off today. And thank you all for taking out time out of your day to join us. To quickly introduce myself, my name is Dane. I'm the Director of Sales here at Modern Requirements. And I've had the privilege over the last 6 years to watch a great requirements management tool develop into a best-in-class solution. We're excited to share with you today the enhancements coming to MR4DevOps and Copilot4DevOps Plus. But before we start, I wanted to do a review of a high-level agenda. Firstly, we're going to have a couple polls during the session today, as your input can help us adjust on the fly the session today. To start, I wanted to share a brief background of Modern Requirements, the organization behind MR4DevOps and Copilot4DevOps Plus. Following will be a demonstration of the new enhancements coming to Modern Requirements for Q4 2024. And lastly, we'll be wrapping up with a question and answer period, during which we will be joined by our founder and CTO, Asif Sharif, followed by some closing statements. So Modern Requirements has been a player in the requirements management industry for almost 20 years. During this time, we've become a long-standing, trusted, and strategic partner of Microsoft. Microsoft considers Modern Requirements as their go-to requirements partner. We're the only requirements tool built directly on the Azure DevOps platform. And by working closely with Microsoft, we are always in alignment with Azure DevOps, adapting as the platform evolves. As MR4DevOps is built directly on Azure DevOps, our clients inherit all the advantages of Azure DevOps, such as security and scalability of the platform. And MR4DevOps is loved by organizations globally. Our tool supports a wide range of organizational needs across several industry verticals. Our clients include both small and medium businesses, as well as large enterprises, both within the public and private sectors, industries such as financial services, government defense, pharma, healthcare, and medical device, just to name a few. MR4DevOps also consistently ranks at the top of requirements tool studies. Our solution has been favorably reviewed on numerous occasions by research groups such as Forrester, Gartner, and of course, Infotech Research Group, from whom we've received the gold medal 4 years running in requirements management tool review. As the AI revolution began, our close relationship with Microsoft has presented us with a new opening, the immense opportunity to bring the AI experience to Azure DevOps through our new tool, Copilot4DevOps Plus. This impressive solution has been a catalyst to further our relationship with Microsoft, elevating us to a key AI transformation partner. And we've had the pleasure of being highlighted as such by Nicole Vezin, Chief Partner Officer and Corporate VP of Global Partner Solutions at Microsoft last year at Inspire. following the release of Copilot for DevOps Plus, and earlier this year at Microsoft Build 2024 by Microsoft CTO Kevin Scott. So for individuals who are new to Modern Requirements for DevOps, here's a broad overview of how we improve the Azure DevOps experience. At the top of this image, you can see the core functionalities of the Azure DevOps platform. Below illustrates the functionalities that MR4DevOps injects into the Azure DevOps environment. MR4DevOps comes with an extensive feature set that includes authoring, reporting, project auditability, visualizations, efficiency optimizers, an array of services, and our new advanced AI functionality. We ensure that you have the right tool for every aspect of your requirements management lifecycle. Now, as promised, let's start with a first poll of today's session. The question should appear on your screen momentarily, and we would love if you would all participate. Please select an answer as it pops up on your screen. So the first question is, are you currently using Modern Requirements for DevOps today? We're giving everybody about 20 seconds, so we're partway through that now. Say there's about 5 seconds left in the question, so get your answers in there, or the poll, sorry. So that question has been closed, and now we're just waiting for our second question to jump up on screen here. The question is, are you familiar with the AI tool Copilot for DevOps? All right, so get those questions or answers in. Like I said, we'll give you a total of about 20 seconds here before we move on. So I think we got about 5 seconds left. All right, it's great to see that a number of people have already used the tool. And others haven't, but are excited to be seeing the solution. But with that, let's move on. Before we get into the walkthrough today, I wanted to quickly discuss our newest tool, Copilot for DevOps Plus. Since its release, Copilot for DevOps Plus has been generating a lot of interest, so we wanted to ensure that everyone on the call today is brought up to speed on this solution. Copilot for DevOps Plus is an extremely powerful tool. It's integrated directly into the Azure DevOps environment, and it integrates the global knowledge base. So Copilot for DevOps brings a vast global knowledge base into your organizations, helping teams across your organization utilize relevant information effectively. We're also seamlessly integrated with the Azure DevOps environment, as all of our solutions are. We're going to help you transform data into intelligence. And we now have released a new feature which allows you to bring your own data bring your own LLM. And we will be having bring your own data coming on the near horizon. This solution is also available directly in the Azure DevOps and Visual Studio marketplaces, which you can access today for a free trial. So Copilot for DevOps Plus injects a robust AI-driven toolset into Azure DevOps that empowers individuals throughout the requirements management process. Things like elicitation, analysis, impact assessment, and more. Through the addition of these tools, users will shorten their time to market because they can focus on solving pivotal business problems while simultaneously increasing overall accuracy and quality of the work being done. So Copilot for DevOps Plus provides several accessible, predefined ways to leverage its capabilities without the need to be prompt literate. For example, if you're looking to elicit feature work items from an epic, Copilot for DevOps elicitation capabilities will assist in building out relevant and necessary features complementary to the chosen epic within seconds. Perhaps you want to do analysis to ensure your requirements meet quality standards. The analysis function can be used to evaluate requirements against methods like 6Cs, invest, Moscow, to determine the overall quality of the work being done and suggest potential improvements. But these are just a couple of examples of how we make interacting with Copilot for DevOps Plus simple. For individuals who want more control, we provide that as well. Features like our custom instruction and dynamic prompt will empower users with the ability to impart their prompt expertise on the solution to further sculpt their outputs. If you're interested in getting hands-on, please feel free to sign up for an evaluation. So modern requirements solutions can be purchased effectively in 3 different ways. The backbone of our product stack is our requirements management suite, MR4DevOps. MR4DevOps can be purchased as either a user-based or floating license in 2 different packages. Enterprise, which includes our flagship features like Smart Docs, trace analysis, and review management. And Enterprise Plus, our complete package, which includes advanced functionalities like version package management and test hub reporting capabilities. Our newest solution, Copilot4DevOps Plus, can be purchased as a standalone solution. It's lightweight, cost-effective, and powerful, and our advanced AI capabilities can empower any Azure DevOps user directly at the work item level. Finally, Copilot4DevOps Plus can be coupled with MR4DevOps to bring the most complete enterprise experience for requirements management to Azure DevOps. Now, if you're not using Modern Requirements solutions today and want to get hands-on with either Modern Requirements4DevOps or Copilot4DevOps Plus, we offer a 30-day free trial at no cost or obligation. Aside from the QR code on screen, we should be dropping a link into the chat shortly. Today's webinar will provide you with a solid overview of the awesome features of Modern Requirements. And of course, the enhancements to come. We don't want to just show you. We want you to experience the value MR4DevOps will bring to your team and Azure DevOps process. Please feel free to start an evaluation. Now, to lead us through the next part of today's presentation, I'd like to introduce my longtime colleague and member of Modern Requirements, Shala Joseph. Thank you, Shala.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dane. Hello, everybody, and welcome. As Dane mentioned, my name is Shala Joseph. I'm the Senior Director of Client Success and Training here at Modern Requirements, and I am looking forward to speaking to you folks the wonderful things that we have to offer. The very first thing that we want to talk about is our very own MR Academy. So cool, if you could just go to the next slide, please, Dane. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, folks, we're pleased to announce that we have created an online learning tool, and of course, we refer to it as MR Academy. It is valued at $3,000. However, good news for you is that we are currently offering it for free. Yay. It is an online tool. Of course, it is free, as we mentioned for now. Self-paced, self-directed tool, and most importantly, your users will be able to receive a certificate upon successful completion at the end of each module. And of course, that's something that you can flaunt on your LinkedIn as well. Why not, right? This will validate and showcase your proficiency with certificates. And of course, we will be sending you an email with, of course, with some details if you are looking to see, and if you're looking to sign up for it, why not, right? What does this do? It is an adoption and change management tool. As I mentioned, it is self-directed learning tool and empowers your teams to master modern requirements at their own pace, anytime, anywhere. Okay, it drives ROI and efficiency. And of course, most importantly, it is consistent. It has best practices that we have added in there too. And it streamlines your experience, your comprehensive structure courses, and ensures that it's consistent with understanding the application and making sure that your users can utilize the tool going forward. Awesome. All right. So again, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat and we will be happy to help you out with that and address those questions. Next slide, please. Perfect. So from here on, I'm actually going to take over and we're going to announce to you or show you what wonderful things that we have done. Very first thing, I'm going to make a blanket statement here that we have done some updates in this release, along with some amazing enhancements. We have made some bug fixes to make the tool more efficient. These bug fixes apply to many of our modules, and most of them are, of course, based on our client feedback. For a detailed list of these bugs and what are these fixes that we have done, please refer to our Modern Requirements for DevOps 2024 Update 1 release notes that will be shared with you prior to our release implementation. And just to let you know that the update is going to be we will be pushing our update into our sandbox and eval servers by next week. And upon validation, it is going to go into production. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Perfect, thank you. And let's do this. All right, hopefully all can see my screen now. So as I mentioned earlier that we have, along with some bug fixes, we have done some enhancements too, yeah? So what are these enhancements? Now, folks, what we have done is that we're so excited to announce that with these enhancements, significant enhancements to our system, we're improving performance, usability, and overall functionality. We will use this time today to demonstrate some of the highlights of these enhancements, yeah? And some of the modules that we're going to be discussing today. The very first thing that we want to talk about, as Dane has already mentioned a wee bit to you folks, which is our Copilot4DevOps V3. Good news is, folks, that now with this release, our V3 for Copilot Plus will be embedded into Modern Requirements. What does that mean to you? Along with having it available from your backlogs and queries, you'll also be able to access it from our Smart Docs, which is our Modern Requirements tool. What is Copilot? You kind of heard about it, what it does. Your team can benefit from enhanced features like 80% faster requirements, authoring, 60% faster test case creation, 90% faster requirement review. You can also access our dynamic prompts, our pseudocode generation, custom instructions, and more personalized interactions. Now, most of you may already have seen some of these amazing features. Let me show you a few that are like new and improved features that are also my favorite. Yep. And they are, if you can see my screen, impact assessment, QA assist, and of course, dynamic prompt. Now, in the dynamic prompt, you're saying, well, wait a second, we have seen dynamic prompt before. Absolutely. What we are offering you now, along with queries, you can run prompts based on single or multiple work items selected. Yeah. So let's talk about dynamic prompt first. Now here you can see that, what does it do? I'm going to go ahead, I've created an actual prompt, and you can write a prompt of any sort that you want. The good news is, folks, that if one person, if John Smith is creating your prompt, Shala will be able to use those prompts as well. So usability is huge in Modern Requirements, yeah? So let's run this. Now, what am I doing here? I'm saying based on selected work item, now I've only selected one work item, show me how comprehensive my data is to determine risk control measurement. Now, of course, I want to see from scale 1 to 10, I want to see it in a table, and I want some columns for my table. What are the columns now? Choice is yours. I'm doing it as work item ID, my title, my rating, my reasoning, season. Tell me what are the section of risk control measurement that are not met. And of course, suggest some improvements. Yeah, let's generate it. Because what this dynamic prompt does, this process allows you to engage with your projects interactively by using tailored prompts that leverage work items details from queries, and of course, as I mentioned, based on work items. And that's what I'm showing you right now. So I've only selected one work item. You can see that this is my work item that is rated at 8. It shows you the reasoning and of course the risk of a section that is telling you what's not met. The mitigation strategies are not met. And then you have your suggested improvements. Happy pappy, right? You can take this information, you can copy it, you can save it into your MS Word, and then kind of go back to your work items and look at it as you want it to be. Now, let's jump into the second part, which is our impact assessment. Powerful tool, folks. Now, what I've done here as a previous business analyst, and most of you may already be a BAs on the phone as well too, what is important to us? We want to see our CFR Part 11 compliant. So what I have done here is that, again, the prompts are up to you how you want to write it. I'm going to put this one here that I created earlier. So I'm saying based on my selected work item, run an assessment, show me how well this work items entities are coinciding with my CFR Part 11 compliant, right? Let's do a performance analysis here. So what is this doing? That it helps you users effectively assess the impact of changes on the work items and modern requirements, facilitating better project coordination and management. So there you have it. It tells you the impact explanation, and it then gives you tasks that you potentially need to work on to make your work better. So what I'm doing, I'm adding some pizzazz or making my work data more, taking it away from being convoluted and making it more robust. Yes? Next thing, let's talk about number 3, our Q&A assistant. Now, you must have used our Q&A tool as well, the FAQ we have. Now, we have incorporated Q&A assistants in our Copilot4DevOps V3. Now, add a question and ask the system to create your work items or your questions. The choice is yours. So what I'm going to do here is I want to ask what question should be asked when gathering requirements for a risk management project. Yeah, it's an important topic. We all want to know what are the risks in there. So I'm going to go ahead and generate this. So what QA does, it allows you to effectively or efficiently create and manage Q&A entries with Copilot4DevOps, enhancing your support and information in your requirements management process. Yep. So these are just the suggestions that the system is making for you. Now, the choice is yours. You can select one or many. And also what we do is this, we allow you to select a specific suggestion made by the system and see the details. Now here on the right-hand panel, you can see the system is telling you, hey, there's a question, the explanation for the question, the answer, and the summary of the answer, why we think that that answer is good for you. Now, at this point, if you like what you see, you can go ahead and create a work item from here. Now, folks, the important thing to remember here is that regardless of what process template you're working with, you can create a work item, even if it is a customized work item available in your process template. I'm going to go ahead and do a user story. You can select fields. If there's customized fields that are available within your specific work item, sure, go right ahead. You can see that I've added some additional fields in here. There's a pseudocode, there's a test script field that I've added in. Now, I can select anyone. I'm going to push this into description. Now, what it's asking you to do is to add question and explanation in the selected work item field. Yes, please. And insert question as a work item. So rather you want to take the answer and create it into a work item, or you want to take your question and create a work item, choice is yours. Right. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and generate this, and this will be available in wherever I am invoking my Copilot from DevOps 4. If I'm doing it in backlogs, it will be there. And if I'm doing it from my Smart Doc, sure, the data will be available within my document. The next thing that I wanted to show you is the analysis tab. Now, you are familiar with this. You've seen this before. We can run the analysis of your 6 Cs. Now, good news is, folks, that we have added 4 more options to it. So my favorite one is, of course, Moscow and SWOT. And I don't know about you folks, but SWOT has been the object of affection for most of us. And it helps us to kind of understand how well our project is going. Run a SWOT on your data, and off you go with the information provided to you by Copilot4DevOps V3. Right, everybody's excited, I hope, and can't wait to try it yourself. And there it is. So what this is doing, it's giving our strength, our weakness, our opportunities, and our threats. And it gives you a rating, rational for rating, and of course, suggested improvements. All right. Now, those were some of the fancy things that we've got. And as I mentioned earlier, too, you can do it in specific work items. So if you say, you know, there are certain work items that I've selected, and I just want to run the impact assessment on those work items, or I want to run a Q&A on those, sure. When you select individual work items or multiple work items, this screen will show. If you have only selected one, you will see all of our functionalities. If you selected certain or multiple work items, you will see this. Now from here, I want to take you into a world of our second important tool that is available to you within our Copilot Plus DevOps for V3. Let me introduce you to our Codeless 1 by Modern Requirements. Codeless One is a product of MR, okay, and you can access it from our Copilot for DevOps. Now, if you click on this, it's very simple. What is it for? It is an AI-powered no-code app development tool designed to help you validate your software requirements by creating fully functional prototype. Okay, getting started is very simple. You go here, we're going to go ahead and perhaps select our project management. So all you need to do is just provide the name of the solution you want to build. For example, we have put in project management. Let's say you want to create something, a project management solution for your company. Now you can add a description if you like. It's up to you. It's optional. It's not mandatory. And if you want to see further details of what Codeless One does, you can go ahead and watch this video too. I'm going to skip the actual description and go next. Yeah. Now here, what the system is doing, once you move to this step, the Codeless One tool will make recommendation. Yep. In here, you're seeing objects, and each one of these objects then have properties associated to it. Now the choice is yours. You say, these are very well selected objects that we have, and then maybe there's some properties you can select or deselect as you want and go forward. Now, here you are seeing how the relationship should be defined. For instance, you see, we can have one-to-many relationship, meaning one project can be linked to many milestones, or one project can be linked to many tasks, right? So we'll just unselect a few and select a few here and move forward, because what we want to do is this: we want to create an app. And that's what the system is actually doing for us, helping us build an app. Now you can have several organizations if you want. If you've already created, since I have already logged into our Codeless One earlier, I can use my account. Yep. So what the system is doing, that is helping me build my app based on the account that I have. Now, if you are not registered as yet, there is a 30-second process that would allow you to register and use Codeless One. Good news is for free. Okay, so why not do so? Go right ahead and try it. And as you can see, that as I'm yapping away here, system is building the app for me, and there you have it. App is generated for me. So what I've done now is this, let me show you an app that I've created earlier by using the same process to show you the final picture of what it would look like. Yep. Now, when we go here, after you've created this, actually, you can go into your events. You go ahead and build your events, create some tasks. The ocean. I say it's all the ocean for you, right? You can go into your venues, you can create your vendors, you can create your reports. Let me show you the dashboard, which is, of course, pretty fancy here, isn't it? After your app is generated, you can add some sample data and start exploring its features. The app comes equipped with powerful tools for data management, Gantt chart, Kanban board, dashboarding, reporting, and workflow automation. Right? So you can see that we have created a dashboard that kind of shows us all of the above that I've just mentioned. Now you can use your prototype to validate requirements and get valuable stakeholder feedback early in the process, folks. And if your prototype meets your needs, you like what you see, you can now push it into production and use it as a fully operational solution for your business. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to please type it in the chat, and the right person will contact you as we go through our presentation today. Now, since I have piqued your interest, let's move into some of the other enhancements made to Modern Requirements tools. The next topic that I would like to talk to you about is that our version package management. Now, some of you may have already been using our version package management. You know what it is. It's available to create packages from backlogs. It's like a glorified version of our baseline, yeah? You can create your packages from your backlogs. You can do it from your smart docs and so on and so forth. Now, good news is, folks, that you can now save the work that you've done from your version package management. Any package that you've created, you can now push it into our document management system. Yeah, So all you need to do is to either you go into Save As and do a Save to Library. Anywhere you see Save to Library, that means that this data can now be saved into our document management system. I'm going to go ahead and put this. You can either save it into your folder, or you can save it into your shared folder or document folder, entirely up to you, however you want to work with it, right? Now, we're going to talk about document management system in a bit and kind of show you what exactly it is. So you're going to hear me talk about DMS. So every time you hear DMS, note that I'm talking about document management system, yeah? Not DMX, but DMS, yeah? All right, moving on to the next one. So what we have done now is that we have added, of course, change management, and to be able to do audits on the data that we're working is imperative for us. Whenever we're working online, we want to see what changes have been done, yeah? What we have done, folks, now is that we have provided you from our admin panel. So some of you that may already been working with Modern Requirements, you know that we have made our way into the back end of ADO2, where you go into Azure DevOps and you scroll down to Modern Requirements for DevOps, and there's our area. Yep, all of Modern Requirements, some of Modern Requirements modules are available. You can download an audit report from here that will give you the details of what changes have occurred to your admin panel. Let us show it to you really quickly. I think it's going to perhaps go to my second screen. Yeah, there it is. Let us bring it over. Sorry, give us a minute. There it is, right? So what does it consist of? It consists of ID, your report tracks changes for your detailing project ID, the name of the person, the actor, timestamp, area, category, and specific event descriptions. Yeah, so no more hidden agenda. People are making changes to your backend. You can now see who those people are. As you can see, Charlotte Joseph has been making a lot of changes. Yalla. And you can see the last change that I made was on October the 23rd. Yeah, happy? All right, I hope some of you are happy. All right, let's move to the next topic of discussion today. We're going to be talking about our review management. Now, you asked, and thou shalt receive. That's what they say. Yeah, you have asked us, and we have given you what you were looking for. In the actual, let's go into the settings right here, actually. Previously, and as you know, the Modern Requirement has a very strong, a robust review management tool. Yeah, and a few of our clients that have been utilizing it, they use, of course, you know, I'm going to bring up CFR Part 11 compliant again, right? Because we offer the ability to achieve CFR Part 11 compliance approval through a streamlined online review process, yeah, which integrates with e-signatures. Now, previously, this supported users were be able to provide their reviews response by using MR credentials or PAT, which is your personal access token. And some of the clients requested that we provide a different option when providing approval. So what we have done is now we're giving you option where you can use your Azure DevOps credentials. So by default, it's still going to show MR credentials, but if you so choose to say, I'm going to have a one-stop shop and I'm going to use my Azure DevOps credentials to provide my approvals for internal or external stakeholders, sure, why not? Select that here, your AD admin will be able to make this change for you. All right, perfect. Let's move on to the next topic. So this is kind of like a small change that we have made to our smart report. I'm going to close this really quickly. Now, you know that you can run reports from almost all of the Modern Requirements modules. And because we are super generous and altruistic, what we have done is that we have also given you the access to create your reports from backlogs and queries as well. In this case, we have made a slight adjustment to how you are going to configure your smart report. From rather you doing it just a quick, you want to take your data and you want to push it into MS Word or PDF, entirely up to you as you want to do it. Or if you're going into the smart report and doing the configuration, if you're one of me that loves to have what I have offline and I want to have it online as well, hey, why not, right? You can go into the designer tab and you can select the specific configuration for your smart report. Now, saying that, what we have done now is we have allowed you to select a separator. Now, some of you ask for it because you want to be able to see when you are creating your output, right? You want to be able to say, we offer this functionality in the report generation tool. What you can do is you can add a separator after each section to identify that this section data is completed by checking on the option called separator. So I believe that I did create one here. Let me see if I did it in, there it is. Let's build one. I have selected the separator here, go to the report part and generate the report. So you'll see a thick bar that will show and separating each one of your areas within your Smart Report. This is what it looks like here. And if you push it into MS Word or PDF, and of course, you know, Modern Requirements offers you to bring in your own templates too. I'm just going to put it in a basic one that we have available for by default, okay? So I can show you what it looks like. Let's open it here. Sorry, it's gone to my second screen too, so I'm just going to pull it over. Give us just a minute, and there you have it. Okay, so just as it looks in the UI, it will look exactly the same in your output as well. Pretty, isn't it? All right, then let's take it away. Okay, so the next topic that we're going to be talking about is our trace analysis. A lot of you use our trace analysis. Yeah, it's what does it do? We have two types of traceability. We have intersection, we have horizontal. In the horizontal traceability, you can see end-to-end analysis of your work items. And of course, intersection gives you a two-dimensional view of your work items. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail. Some of you may know, some of you don't know. If you don't know, please reach out to us and we'd love to help you out in understanding how traceability works. But what we have done here is that we have given you the opportunity to take this data and push it into our DMS system as well, which is our document management system, right? So if you have created a traceability and say, you know, this is beautiful, I want to take this, I want to push it into and save it online within my Modern Requirements tool, why not? So rather you're doing it as Smart Report, which is MS Word, PDF, HTML, or export to Excel. And here's the new option that's available to you, which says save to the library. So if I say, you know what, this is great, I want to push it into library, sure. Select a specific folder and push it there. Your Excel, as it appears here, will appear in your DMS system as well. Life is beautiful, isn't it? All right, then, moving on. The next one that we want to talk about, and of course, this is, you have heard me say document management system several times, and you say, well, qu'est-ce que c'est? What is that, right? So you must be wondering, what is this all about? Well, here we have it. We saved it for the last, not last but least, yeah. Our document management system is a tool that serves as a comprehensive solution for managing documentation throughout the project lifecycle. So, you know, as a business analyst, I've done that in the previous life as well, where I'm saving my data into SharePoint because we're in love with MS Word or PDFs, right? So what we have done is given you this tool where you can now save the data online. So it's been available to you previously. What we are doing is that we have made some enhancements. Those enhancements will make your life a wee bit easier. What it is that now we have options, some call it, I suppose, controls. There's new controls that are available. Let's go into one of these right here that we have already pushed in earlier. This is the Excel, so maybe I'm going to go in, you know what, let's go into, yeah, maybe I'm going to go into the one that's a Word document. It's easier for you folks to see it. Yeah, let's go here. Perfect. So previously when you open it, and it will still look to you the same until, you know, we have pushed into our release 1 into your environment, this is what your next view is going to be. What we have done, folks, is that check out for enable editing. So the documents that you've rather uploaded from your machine, or you have brought it in from your backlogs, from your smart docs, from your traceability, from your version package management, and you want to make changes to it, this will allow you to edit your saved documents within the tool. The new controls are track changes, add comments, table of content, do a comparison of the two versions if you want it to be, okay, and find specific areas for Delta version 2. So you see, if I were to go here and say, you know, for this document, I actually, you know what, I have added a table of content here. So let's close this right here, and I'm going to show you, if I do a comparison to the V2 that I created earlier. Give this a minute, And there you have it. You can see that it will show you the changes in a red line view. So I know that my document didn't have a table of content before, but now I'm adding a table of content. Now, if you were to go ahead, I'm going to close this because I don't need to see, you can close the comparison here. Now, if you were to say, okay, this is great, I'm going to go ahead and make some changes and save the document as is. So let's say here, we'll say making changes and saving them, right? So I wanted to bring to your attention, there's two ways that you can save and check in your document. Now, most of you that have been working with the Modern Requirements tools, this diagram, use case, the check-in process, right? We have engraved that into your minds when we're doing our training sessions. So save and check-in automatically will create a version of your document that you're saving. Save and check-in with the label will allow you to select a name for your document, right? So you can label it differently. You can add comments, and this will also allow you to select if the changes that were made were minor or major. If you're making major changes, what it does, it jumps from 1.0, from 1.3 to whatever, it will jump to a 2.0. So the major changes saving jumps to the next available number when you're saving your version. So I'm just going to do that right now so I can show you what it is. Let's say we'll call this V2. Click OK. And voila. So you can see, because I said it's a major change and my last version was 2.0, we're now gone into V3. And that's it, folks. Those are the things. And of course, when you're, as I mentioned earlier, you can do track changes too. So if I turn on my track changes here and make a change, say new change, it will appear in a red line view. So it makes it very easy for your users to be able to see how and what changes have been made. You can accept it, reject it. I'm going to go ahead and check in my changes as they are with 3.0 version. When we go back to our, let's close this. Right? And you can see that this is the document that we've been making changes to. Rather you have made changes and someone else then goes in and kind of takes a look at it, it will be available. If you have checked in your document, your other users will be able to see what changes you have made to it and if there's any track changes that have been going through. Right? So I hope that you've enjoyed the new enhancements that we have made to the system. Thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to your questions. I'm going to hand it over back to Dane. Over to you, Dane.
Thank you, Shala, and thank you for, sorry, I believe I'm not the presenter. Maybe I am. Thank you, Shala, for the great demo. Just apologize, everybody. Before we move on to the next part of our session today, we just wanted to do a quick poll. So you should see the questions coming in very, very soon. So based on the demo today, which feature enhancement are you most excited about? Now, again, we're going to do 2 questions in this poll. We'll give about 20 seconds for each to be responded to. About 5 seconds left in the current poll. All right, so the first question of the second poll has now been closed, and you should see the second question coming up now, which is your favorite Copilot for DevOps Plus feature that you've seen today? Or maybe you've even used it somewhere. All right, we really appreciate everybody who's answering today. So please take the next couple seconds to finish up, and I believe we're closing the poll now. All right, so thank you for your input there. It's greatly appreciated from our side. Now we're going to move into our Q&A segment of today's call. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to post them into chat, and we can try to get you the answers that you're seeking. As mentioned earlier in the call, we're going to be joined by our founder and CTO Asif Sharif is creator of the solution, Modern Requirements for DevOps. So hopefully if you have any deeper questions that Asif can assist with, he'll be on the call to help you out.
So, Dane, do you want to read out the questions and
Yeah.
either Shala can answer it or I can, or we'll take that away?
Sure. So the first question has come in, and it's the Academy asks for a key in its registration. Is it your product key? I'm not super familiar with that. Awesome for Shala, if you'd like to answer this one.
Sorry, I missed the part in there. Could you repeat the question, please?
So the Modern Requirements Academy asked for a key during registration, and
Yes.
the asker wants to know if it's the product key that they're looking for.
Yes, so there is a key that's available, and that's actually in part of our instructions. There's one key that you can use. I will look that key up and we will put it into the chat here.
Additionally, just as a note, if anybody's having any sort of access issues, please feel free to reach out to your representative here at Modern Requirements. They should be able to respond quite quickly and get you the information that you're looking for. I'm always available as well. If you would like, my contact information can be made available and you can reach out to me directly. So, sorry, I'm having a little bit of an issue navigating here.
Yeah, Dane, let me take over.
Please.
The next question is, which plan do you need to have to get Copilot for DevOps? I will answer this one. So Copilot for DevOps does come with Modern Requirements Enterprise and Enterprise Plus. And so you can get it as at the basic edition with Modern Requirements by default. It comes with a few of the function points and 500,000 token count. And then we have the next thing is you can buy standalone. And when you buy it standalone, or when you buy the Plus edition, that's gives you 10 million tokens with it and gives you a lot more functionality. So there's a couple of, you get it by default with MR, but you can also get the Plus edition of that. Somebody said they were happy to hear about the audit trail and Azure DevOps credential support now. We are pleased to provide that. Really, a lot of the R&D we do is based on a client feedback that people come to us and tell us this is what we need, and then we go try build it. So thank you for your feedback. The next question is, and perhaps Shala, you can take this one. It says in the horizontal traceability matrix, where it goes from requirements to test case to test result, excuse me, is it possible to show the test plan ID for the test results?
Right. So am I still audible? Like, I'm not on mute. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So yeah, it's the test plan ID in the test result. It is only achievable from the Enterprise and Plus license through the test reporting functionality. I don't know if I don't think I'm sharing my screen still. I think it's gone. But yes, when you go into the horizontal traceability, there is a specific option that we provided you for test hub reporting, and part of that is the plan ID.
So Shala, let's follow up with Deepa offline.
Yes. Okay.
And provide her the details that she
got
needs.
it.
There was another question, does enabling Copilot for DevOps require any extra configuration setup in MR? So MR has Copilot embedded in it, and right now MR has version 2 embedded in it, although Copilot standalone is available with V3, If you want V3, just contact us. We'll get you set up on that. The next version of Modern Requirements, which is update 1, is going to have V3 or V4, whichever one is the latest at that time, would be embedded within MR, so you would not have to do anything to get it. And Shala, you could answer this question. It says, please remind me where document management functionality is.
It is a module of its own. So when you're looking at the left panel, you will see document management tool. That's, I believe it's between impact assessment and version package modules. And you can access in order for you to save data into your document management tool, you can access it from save as option or from a reporting tool.
Yeah. So just on the document management side, just note that the installation, there is something your organization has to do from an install perspective. Unless you're on the Modern Requirements as a service, then you should have it automatically. But if you have your own installation, please reach out to us. We can provide you the appropriate details if you don't already see it on the hubs on the left-hand menu. There's another question that says, how do we train the Copilot to use content that is relevant in our context? So one of the things we do is, Deepa, so firstly, Copilot already knows the project you are in and the surrounding information that's important for it to do what it needs to do. So that's one. From a content training point of view, in update 4, which is coming out next month, we have added bring your own data service, in which case you'll be able to upload your documents, your user manuals, your architecture guides, whatever. You can upload your documents, you can reference wiki and work items in it, and then the system would learn, it would create a private LLM for you, and then use that to do what it needs to do. So bring your own data, coming up, version 4, sometime next month. The other question is, the Academy asked for a key in registration. Is
Yes.
it a product key?
It's part of our, I'll take that, Asif. It is key, it's the word learn, L-E-A-R-N. I have asked Darshini to put it in the chat as well for you folks to have. So it's going to be always the word learn. And that's a key in the instructions that we typically send out. It's part of the instructions.
Excellent. So that's the key you should use. When will the new release be available? So update 1, we just finished UAT on it. We are going to put it on the sandbox for our clients to validate it, which takes about a couple of weeks. So a lot of our clients will have access to it. They'll provide us feedback. In a couple of weeks, we should be done through the validation process, and then it would start to get rolled out into production environments. And if you have a on-prem deployment, then you'll also get a local installer for that. The other question is, how do I upgrade my package to include Copilot for DevOps? Yeah, to get Copilot for DevOps, it's quite an inexpensive add-on. You can just reach out to your salesperson and they'll orchestrate that for you. Or just write to support@modernrequirements.com. The other question is, can we access Codeless One separately without the use of Copilot? Yes, you can. So you can use Codeless One independently, or you can invoke it from Copilot. Codeless One is the sort of no-code AI-driven prototyping tool where you can give your prompt. Based on that, it'll interact with you, create a very beautiful application quickly that's secure, has dashboarding, reporting, rules engine in it and so on. And then you can validate your requirements. And obviously that's important to make sure that you don't build something that is not correct. So yeah, you can use Codeless One by itself. There's another question: if documents are created from a set of work items, say smart doc or version packages, are changes in the created document transferred back into the work items? Yes, it is. So yes, the answer is yes, the changes are updated in the work item. So your work items and your smart docs are always in sync. So you don't have to make updates in two places. Then Kathy says, thank you for your presentation, Shala. Question on the app development. Would it be a browser-specific app, phone app, or a desktop app? So I presume this question is regarding Codeless One. And the app is a responsive app that can run in a browser as well as a tablet and mobile. So it is a responsive application. The other question we have is, Virginia asked, will this webinar be available for review later on? And the answer is yes. We'll be sending out the recording in the next day or two. But Darshini is pretty good. She'll probably get it out as fast as she has it available. And then the last question is from, where is the last question? Sorry, I thought it was the last question. It's actually not the last question. Anyway, so Daniel asked the question, when you showed the review section, you mentioned external users. Can Modern Requirements users send a smart doc to a non-ADO user for review and approval? So for external users, either you'll have to give them access, limited access to the system, or you'll have to save it in Word or PDF and send it outside. Because if you want review or feedback, especially approval, the person has to be authenticated. That means they have to be in the system. So either you give them access to the system, or you give them a document. Kathy asked the question, certificate. Is it jointly with Microsoft, where there is also a Microsoft badge stamp? So, Shala, you want to take this?
Sorry, could you repeat the question again, please?
Is the certificate they get from the LMS system, is it co-branded with Microsoft?
Right, so it is specific to Modern Requirements. You will see that it actually mentions Microsoft Azure DevOps there as well, but because Modern Requirement is built on Azure DevOps there, you could say that it is relatively, they're both relatives to each other. So on our certificate, it mentions both names, Azure DevOps and then Modern Requirements.
There is one more question. There's another question from Reed. Reed says, is there any plans to add ability to use the illicit option on multiple work items or a query of work items? So that's yes, we do plan on implementing that. What we have done with V4, which again is coming out in a few weeks, is the multi-select option is now available in many other places, which were not available before. So now you can use, you can do analysis on multiple work items at once. You can do generate pseudocode or code. You can generate test script from multiple work items. Of course, dynamic prompt, also dynamic prompt can also support multiple work items now. The idea of illicit is something that we are looking into. So if not version 5, then version 6. 5 should be out by year end. So yeah, but we will add this to up it in our backlog order. So the other question is about V3 date of release. So we are rolling it out into sandboxes next week, and then once it is validated, it will be would be put into production. With some of our clients, we've already given them in the sandbox. For the rest of them, it'll be going out. So we sort of stage it. So throughout next week, it will be in all the sandbox environments. What else do we have? And one last question, in the review functionality, do we have multiple step workflow now, or can I launch a review approval workflow in one go? So Manuel, the way this works right now is when you send out a review, it can have two parts to it. You can include reviewers and approvers, but if you do need to do multi-step processes, then you'll have to orchestrate that by yourself, where you first send it for review, get the feedback, make updates based on the feedback, and then send it for approval. Doing an automated workflow becomes difficult because there might be feedback that you get that has to be updated. And for that reason, we have chosen to have the intermediary step be a manual process, because you have to react to the review you get from step one. So that's how that works. So folks, we have just completed all of our questions right on the top of the hour. I thank you all for attending. Please continue to send us your feedback. We are doing a lot of exciting stuff in Modern Requirements, in Copilot for DevOps, and in Codeless One. And yeah, if you have any questions, please reach out to us on info@modernrequirements.com. If you're not using Modern Requirements today, please go to that URL, modernrequirements.com/try-now, or use the QR code. I wish you all a wonderful day, and stay well, folks. Take care, and bye-bye.
Thanks.